Let's start in child's pose. Just settle in, ease into your practice. Let anything that's happened today go. While we're practicing today, please just remember to listen to your body. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right for you. Please modify any poses that I'm doing that do not feel right. So just take a few moments here. Feel your hips gently opening up, your shoulders opening up. And now let's slowly take it over to the right hand side. So bring your arms over your right knee. Just feel the opening of the hip and side stretch. And now let's take it over to the center and then to the left hand side. Just start with some nice gentle movements to ease into our practice. Okay, and then back to center for a moment. And from here we'll come onto our hands and knees. Do a few cat and cow poses, just to warm up the spine a little bit. Now let's take our right leg out behind us and our left leg out in front and crunch in elbow to knee a few times. So waking up the core. And then let's hold it. And then bring your right knee and left hand down, and then we're going to switch sides. So crunch in, elbow to knee. And then hold. And then back to hands and knees. Do a couple of cat and cows to clear that out. Then we'll make our way to down dog. And we'll just be here for a moment just to open up the hamstrings and the shoulders a little bit more. Push those heels toward the ground. Then come on up to the top of your mat. Inhale, and then exhale, fold, and lift your arms up, and hands to prayer position. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, fold down. Inhale, flat back, and then we'll put our right leg back, knee down for a moon salutation. Lift your arms up and your gaze up and feel that nice hamstring stretch on the right side. And then we'll put our hands down to plank pose, and then we'll take a vinyasa. Back to down dog. Then we'll bring our right leg forward, left knee down, raise your arms up, stretch out that left hip flexor. These are so good for when we sit too much, it really opens up the front of the hip. And then inhale, bring your left foot to meet your right, exhale, fold down, and then inhale to stand. Hands to prayer. Then we'll do it on the left side. exhale down, flat back, inhale, and then we'll bring our left leg back and lift your arms to the sky, look up, maybe try to get a little bit of a back bend. Just feel that hole opening up on the left side. Then we'll bring our hands down, take a vinyasa. You can do up dog or cobra, whatever feels best for you. And then back into downward facing dog for a few breaths. Then we'll bring our left leg up and the right knee down and go ahead and lift up. And now bring your hands down, join your right foot to the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then raise your arms up. Inhale, and hands to prayer. And we'll do that one more time. Let's go ahead and forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Right knee back to the floor. Lift up. Maybe you have a little more space in that hip flexor and your upper back. Then we'll bring our hands down and take a vinyasa. And then back to downward dog. We'll bring our right leg up, left knee down, and lift up. Then hands down, bring your left foot to meet your right foot. We'll inhale, exhale down, and then inhale to raise up. One more time on the left. Inhale, exhale down, inhale, flat back. Then we'll bring our left knee down to the floor and lift your arms up to the sky. Feel the opening. And then hands down. Take our vinyasa. Inhale up. And exhale to down dog. Then we'll step our left foot up, right knee to the floor, lift up to the sky. Then we'll put our hands down and meet the right foot to the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. And inhale up to the sky. Hands to prayer. Next, we'll do a sun salutation B. So we'll come into chair pose. And then exhale down. Inhale into a flat back. Jump or hop into your chaturanga. Take your vinyasa to down dog. Lift the right leg up, bring it through to your hands for warrior A. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. And try to keep those hips centered, your chest centered. But keep your tailbone neutral. Don't arch your back too much. Try to keep that low back feeling good and not crunched up. And you can look up or wherever your head feels good. Then we'll come back into a vinyasa and back to down dog. Then we'll lift our left leg up, bring our foot through to our hands for warrior A on the left. So go ahead and open up the chest. Make sure the hips are to the facing front. Ground that back foot down. And then hands down. We'll take our vinyasa. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Just settle in for a moment. And then we'll hop or step up to the front of our mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up into chair. And samastitihi. We'll do that again. Chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step back to chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Then we'll lift our right leg up and bring it through to our hands into warrior A. We'll hold this for a few breaths. And then bring our hands down into a vinyasa. Inhale up, exhale, down dog. Then we'll lift the left leg up, bring it through to our hands, warrior A on this side. Just settle in, feel the opening. Hands down, we'll take our vinyasa. Inhale up, back to down dog for a few breaths. Okay, we'll jump or step up to the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, fold, chair pose, and then up to standing. Okay, inhale your arms up, exhale down, inhale flat back, exhale jump or step back, take your vinyasa, back to down dog. And we'll lift our right leg up, bring our right knee to our forehead. Do that 3 times. Then lift your right leg up, bring it through to your hands for warrior B. And just make sure your right knee is up over your ankle and not going in. You want that to be parallel. Put the weight on the blade of your left foot. Then we're going to reverse it, keeping your legs the same. We'll come into Warrior Two for a moment and then triangle pose. So you can look up or forward or even down, if whatever feels better for your neck. Just try to open up the body, rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Then bend your front knee and come into side angle pose. And you can keep your elbow on your knee, your hand on the floor. We'll be repeating this so you can make further modifications the next time if you'd like to go further. And then we'll come back and take a Vinyasa. Down dog. We'll lift your left leg up and bring your knee to your forehead 3 times. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring your leg up and bring your foot through to your hands to Warrior Two on this side. Just notice any differences from the sides. One side's usually more open than the other. Then we'll reverse, keeping your legs the same. Come back through Warrior Two. Straighten that left leg and then come into triangle pose. Just reach that arm up to the sky, open up that chest. Look wherever feels good for your neck. Then go ahead and bend that left leg and come into side angle, whatever version works for you. And then we'll bring our arm down and take a Vinyasa. From down dog, jump or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward. Lift your arms up into prayer. Okay, arms up, inhale, exhale down, flat back, inhale, jump or step back to Chaturanga and take your Vinyasa. We'll repeat this on the other side. Right leg up, open up that hip a little bit, feel that opening. Straighten your leg, and then bring your right leg up into Warrior Two on the right side. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. Inhale, reverse. Then back to Warrior Two. Straighten that right leg for triangle pose. You may want to try some different positions with your arm. You can raise your arm overhead, or if you'd like some more strength, you can lift both arms overhead and support yourself with your legs. Just remember to keep your chest open to the side and not pointing down. We'll come into side angle pose. So you might be able to get a little deeper here, maybe take a bind, and just rotate that chest open here. This is a great opening for the hip as well. Then we'll take our hands down, go through your vinyasa, and back into down dog. We'll lift our left leg up, open up that hip, stretch. Straighten your leg, and then bring your foot up between your hands into warrior two. We'll inhale into reverse. Just try to keep that back hand light on your leg and don't press into it. And just stretch up through your sides. Then back to warrior two. Straighten that left leg for triangle. And whatever variation you did on the first side, go ahead and do that on this side as well. Then we'll bend our left knee and come into side angle pose. Take the variation you did on the first side. Oh, sometimes balance is not there. Every day is different. Then we'll bring our hands down and take a vinyasa. Inhale up, back to downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Then we'll jumper step up to our hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then you lift your arms up to the sky and prayer. Okay, we'll take another vinyasa. Arms up. Exhale down. Flat back. Inhale. Jump back to chaturanga. Inhale up. And downward facing dog. Then we'll lift our right leg up, open up the hip, and bring your right knee to your left tricep 3 times. Open up the hip, inhale, exhale to your left tricep. One more time. Inhale, and exhale to your left tricep. Inhale, leg up. Bring your right foot through, warrior B. Just make sure you've opened up your hips, your knees not rotating in. Maybe you'll sink a little lower this time. And we'll straighten for triangle, whatever variation you like. Probably feeling a little more open now. Then we'll come into half moon from here. So go ahead and lift up, rotate that foot out. You can keep your hand on the floor, or you might come into poet's pose and bring your right arm up, depending on how your balance is today. Looking down is better for your balance, but if you feel secure, you can look to the side or up. Just make sure you're opening up. Then we'll come back to Warrior Two. And rotate your left hand down for side plank. And really try to get that waist up. Feel that whole side stretch, the strength in your left arm. And then we'll come back down to a Vinyasa. Into Down Dog. And we'll do on the left side, lift your left leg up, rotate your hip open, and then bring your left knee to your right tricep. We'll do that 3 times. Exhale, inhale for the third. Exhale to right tricep. Inhale up. Straighten your leg, and then bring your left foot up to meet your hands in Warrior Two. Then we'll straighten our left leg for triangle. So open up, feel those hamstrings. Then look down to come into half moon. So go ahead and balance. Rotate that right foot out. If you can come into poet's pose, you might like to do that. Otherwise, keep your hand on the floor, looking down for more stability. And then we'll come back to Warrior Two. Then rotate your right arm down for a side plank. Go ahead and lift your sides up as high as you can. If you need to put your top leg in front for stability, please do so. And then go ahead and come back down and take a Vinyasa. Back into Down Dog. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Okay, let's jump up to the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale down, inhale, arms up, and hands to prayer. Inhale your arms up, exhale down, inhale flat back, exhale jump or step back, take your Vinyasa, meet in Down Dog. Then we'll lift our right leg up, open up your hip. Then we're going to bring our right knee to our right tricep 3 times. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Lift up one more time, straighten your leg. Then bring your right foot up to meet your hands for crescent. So sink your hips low, neutralize your spine so you're not crunching in your low back. Stretch that heel back. Raise your arms up. Then we'll come into Warrior C. So balancing on that right foot. Try to keep your hips level. You can have your arms to the sides or out further if you'd like. Then come back into crescent pose. Then we'll take a twist. So you can put your hands in prayer with your left elbow hooked around your right knee. If you'd like to take it further, you can bring your left hand down to the ground and your right arm up. Or you may even be able to bind. And then we'll take our vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale to down dog. Left leg up, open up the hip. Inhale, exhale, left knee to left tricep. 2 more times. 2. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Then inhale, open up the hip. Then bring your left foot through to crescent pose. Just try to sink a little deeper. You should be pretty warm by now. Maybe get a little bit of a back bend in there. Then we'll come into Warrior 3. So balancing on that left leg, bring your arms out behind you, to the sides, or for a little more challenge, out in front of you. And we'll come back into crescent. Then we'll twist to the left, whatever variation you did on the other side. And then you can look in any direction that feels good for your neck. Then bring your hands down, take a vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog for a few breaths. And from here, jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale up, and hands to prayer. We're going to make our way to our knees because for a couple back bends, camel pose. So have your knees hip width apart, then lift up. You can put your hands on your sacrum. If you'd like to go a little further, you can reach your hands to your heels. If that's a little too much, you can always bring your toes up to shorten that distance. Just bring that chest up to the sky. Feel the opening in the throat, the chest, the whole upper body. And then slowly, head comes last. Let's tuck our toes under and sit back on our heels. This is a really good stretch for the bottom of the feet in between our camels. We'll do one more. Okay, for our second one, put your feet flatter on your toes and go ahead and lift up. Reach back if you like, if that feels good to you. And just open up, feel that nice stretch in the whole upper body. And then come up slowly with your head last. Let's sit on our tucked toes again one more time for that nice foot stretch. Catch your breath. Back bends are very energizing, so they tend to get you a little out of breath, so it's important to take a moment. Then from here, we'll make our way onto our belly for one more back bend called Sphinx. So you'll bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and lift your chest up. If you'd like a little more, you can bring your hands out a little wider and in front of you and straighten your arms. Just don't push it too much, just a nice gentle back bend. Just feel that opening up. And then we'll rest our forehead on the mat or your hands just for a moment, just to let that back neutralize. And from here we'll come into child's pose, a wide knee child's pose for a moment, just to stretch that back out, get a little bit of a counterbalance there. Then from there, we'll come into Badakanasana, bound angle or butterfly. So go ahead and bring your feet together, knees out, and with a straight back, tend to lean a little bit forward if that's okay for you. It's okay if your knees are up. Just feel the nice, gentle hip opener. And as you open up, you might be able to go further. And then from there, we're going to come into pigeon on the right side. So from down dog, go ahead and bring your right leg up. Try to get your shin parallel with the front of your mat if you can. Stretch that left leg back. Make sure your hips are straight with the front of your mat. Lift up and then fold into your pose. Now my leg is not very parallel with the front of my mat, but yours might be. But whatever position you're in works fine as long as you can feel a nice good stretch in your right hip. And just breathe, ease into it, feel your muscles relax. You'll get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch on your left leg here too. Okay, then go ahead and come up and inhale, lift your chest up. And come back to down dog. Just feel the difference in the sides. Maybe walk it out a little. And then we'll bring our left leg up and right leg back and lift your chest up to the sky, straighten your hips, and then ease into it. Now most of us are very different from one side to the other, so this is my more open side. Just take notice of the imbalances in your body. We try to balance those out in yoga, but it's pretty much impossible to get perfectly symmetrical on both sides. So just take notice of which might be your tighter side and let it go. Okay, then slowly come up, lift your chest, and then come into downward facing dog. Feel the opening in the hips, the back of the legs. And from here, we're going to come into an inversion. So you can do a headstand, a shoulder stand. If you don't feel like doing that, you can bring your legs up the wall. Or if there's something else you're working on, you can certainly play with that now. If you feel more comfortable, you can come towards the wall. Just make sure in the headstand you're not putting pressure on your head. You're pushing out into your elbows and lifting your head slightly. So in theory, you should be able to fit a piece of paper under your head, between your head and your mat. And then for shoulder stand, just make sure your hips and your feet are in alignment. You don't want to be in a pike position. And don't move your head around when you're in these positions. Just breathe. It's nice to reverse gravity. Get a new perspective. If you're in shoulder stand, you might want to come back into plow for a few breaths before you come down. Go ahead and make your way down. If you were in a headstand, go ahead and take child's pose. If you were in a shoulder stand, go ahead and take fish pose to open up the front of the neck because it was compressed in that pose. And from here, we'll go ahead and make our way down to our back. For our final pose before Shavasana, we'll take a nice twist. So bring your knees into your chest. You might want to rock side to side a little bit. And you can take eagle twist with your legs. You can put them together. You can bring one knee in and cross it over, whatever your favorite twist is. So your knees to the left, arm out to the right, chest up to the sky. Just feel a nice opening. This is a nice way to end the practice. Readjust the spine. And then bring your knees back into center. Hug them in. Give yourself a little rock. And then we'll twist to the other side. And just ease into it. We're almost done. The hard part is over. Then we'll slowly bring our knees back to center. Give yourself a little rock just to massage the low back. Come into happy baby a little bit just to rock. If you might want to rock side to side, that always feels good. Open up those hips just a little bit more. Then from here, we'll come into Shavasana, or if you would prefer, you can come into a seated meditation. So from here, if you're in Shavasana, just let everything go. Let your body totally relax. There's nowhere to go, nothing left to do. Start bringing your awareness back into your body by making small movements. Bring your knees into your chest and roll over to one side. Taking your time, go ahead and make your way up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Just take a moment to observe how you feel. Then bring your hands to heart center, bowing your head in gratitude. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.